Let's move on to my first guest. She's been described as the thinking man's crumpet and the rich man's afternoon tea cake. Ladies and gentlemen, the toast is Joanna Lumley. Take a seat. Right. Now, it's lovely to meet you, obviously, because you're like a sort of a fantasy figure, really, for men of a certain age and younger. How do you cope with that sort of adoration that you've had over the years?
Well, it feels great, Clive.
Does it?
To be here with you. No, it's extraordinary, because it's nothing really to do with me, you know.
Isn't it?
No, it's just things that happen in newspapers and...
Yes.
It's not really to do with me.
But when you were like you in the New Avengers, weren't you, as Purdy?
Purdy.
And your hair, everyone wanted to have a hairstyle
yes,
like you.
that was the girls, not the men.
Yes. Well, no, I wanted it. I could do with it now, to tell you the truth. But in the New Avengers, the whole name Purdy, where did that come from? Because
well, originally they decided to call me Charlie, but there was a scent out at the time called Charlie, which I thought was distracting. Also one of Charlie's Angels. Well, I mean, Charlie's Angels. And I thought this was wrong. So I said, could I be named after... the finest shotgun you can buy, which is a Purdy.
Oh, right.
And also, there was a top model at the time called Sue Purdy, whose nickname was just Purdy.
Oh, fair
and it seemed to me quite a kind of cool...
Yeah, after gun's good, because, you know, we're looking like Purdy's. If bazooka wouldn't be quite as good, though, would it? Water pistol or something. And then you've carried on doing... Well, was it Sapphire and Steel, the other thing?
Sapphire and Steel. I didn't have to do much except wear blue contact lenses.
Yes. And what was that? You were sort of... from another planet there.
Yes, I was a sort of extraterrestrial person with David McCallum.
Yeah. Oh, David McCallum. I thought it was David Steele. I thought it was like the Liberal Party. Another planet, you know, not very many of you. Now, your next thing that I know you're doing on television is it called Absolutely Great?
Absolutely Fabulous.
Yes. Well, it's a good title.
It's a good title.
Yes, better than Not Very Good then, really.
It's a title dreamed up by Jennifer Saunders,
yes.
who wrote it and who stars in it.
Yes, and then, but you star in it as well, because I've seen the first episode in pilot form.
Yes.
And you're great. You come on and you're playing this really hard-bitten sort of magazine editor, isn't it?
Yes, that's right, yes. Pretty much a chain smoker and a deep drinker, you know.
But that's a bit of a change for you. You're not playing a nice...
How nice of you to say.
Yes, well, from your... I don't know what your personal life is like, but, you're not a nice girl in it. You're a nasty, bitchy sort of...
Yeah, it's just a pretty sort of ghastly woman. Yeah. And Jennifer's not great either, but I think it's just good fun, you know. Yeah.
But you've been in loads of things. I've done all this background reading. You were in Coronation Street. Yes. You were Ken Barlow's girlfriend for a bit.
Yes, and I said no. He said, marry me, and I said no, and that was the end of that.
What a stupid mistake there.
Too, I know.
You could have been still there, married to the most interesting man in the world. And on the buses? You were in On the Buses?
On the buses.
Yeah.
And I was also...
What did you play in that, for goodness sake?
I was always a girlfriend. And I was also Harry H. Corbett's girlfriend in Steptoe Son.
I hate you, Butler. But I like your girlfriend. Harry H. Corbett's girlfriend?
Yeah. In one episode of Steptoe. I've done all sorts of things. And I've been in Panther films and Dracula films. Yeah. I've just been around for so long.
Well, you're very welcome, but do you always... It's almost like having a regional accent, having such an upper-crust sort of plummy voice, if I may call it that. I'm not being rude, I'm being... I think...
A lot of people say, I don't think we should change the way we speak. And I'm actually of that class. I think you just speak the way you are.
And your name's very good, because Lumley, Joanna Lumley, sounds just so right, doesn't it? Sort of plumly, lovely. Joanna Cobnuts just wouldn't... you'd have had to change it, wouldn't you?
I would.
Yeah.
I would.
Now, delving even further back in your past, you of course started as a model, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. And was that fun? Did you enjoy that?
I loved it, yes. I was a photographic model, which I did 3 years of and loved it and worked every day. But we started off at Lucy Clayton, where we were trained how to be models, how to put on eyelashes and so on. Right. And also we were trained for the catwalk, work I never did, but we were trained for it, and it was...
We've got a sort of catwalk here. Do you
want to see what...
Yeah, was there a special model?
It's changed a lot.
Do you think I could do it? Could I
do you want to see how you...
Well, you should, and I'll see if I can...
The important thing is hip bones, Clive.
I've got hip bones. I come with hip bones.
The most important, the first thing you're to do when you come into a room, they used to say the first thing that should appear is your hip bones. So A, you've got to be thin. B, they've got to be yards ahead of your body. Yes. So you've got to be like that.
Right, well, I'm basically like that even without trying.
You've got to put the ball of your foot down first, and then your heel later. And you've got to move very, very smoothly. Can you manage that?
Well, hang on, I'll just... So your hip bones like that. People are queuing to buy this suit. What's the theory of that? I mean, is that supposed to make the clothes hang or something?
Well, it somehow made the clothes look good, and it also meant that your head could glide about like a snake without moving much, and if you did it properly, with your special little model turns, which I can't do, you used to be able to just glide around. And eventually I won't, because I've got my throat mic attached to it. Particularly if the coat was expensive, you'd take it off and just throw it on the ground and drag it up, just to show it didn't matter.
So, and the other turn, how do you do the turn?
Oh, that was very nice indeed. But unfortunately, I've never, except on this show, been allowed to do that, so thank you so much.
Well, no, it's very good. Thank you very much for doing it. Now, what about there's the getting into the car. Can you demonstrate that? I know there's a special...
Oh, well, this was at the time when the E-Type Jaguar had just come out, and it was terribly important, because we were all in very short skirts, that you were able to get out of an E-Type Jaguar decently without showing your knickers. I'm not going to use that chair because it's too high up. I'm going to use this chair. You had to sit in the chair, and we were told how to do it. The tutor who taught us, I might as well do it in her voice. Remember, oh, well, I might as well roll my skirt up a bit.
Well, why not? Yes,
I mean, I didn't have legs for nothing.
Trousers up, just to...
Trousers up. And you sit there, first when you open the door, you put it out, he'd open the door, you look up, and you give him a nice smile. You swing your legs out, you put them on the ground together, hand on each side of the car like that. I haven't got each side of the car. And you put your legs together and move your head forward slightly, come out of that, give him a nice smile, and step aside and shut the door, and your legs have been together and you haven't showed your pants.
Well, thank you very much. I think that's a jolly useful instruction for all of us. And there's the room, Joanna Lumley.